Today, we're making an LED tombstone that'll be the perfect addition to your haunted graveyard. This LED tombstone is weatherproof and the lights can be changed to several different colors. So join me for this super simple tutorial. To begin making our glowing tombstone, we need 2x4 wood. Now we need 2 of these pieces of wood and they come in 8-foot sections. We're going to cut 4 pieces. 2 pieces at 21 inches and 2 pieces at 36 inches. We're going to screw them together on the corners and make a rectangle box. This is going to be the base that holds all the tombstone sides together. So let's get to cutting. I wanted to take a moment to share with y'all the newest children's book I've written. It's called Oliver and the Lost Flame, and it's a Halloween story based on a young pumpkin named Oliver and his quest to save his town after their enchanted flame was snuffed out, leaving the town of Pumpkin Patch in disarray and afraid. This book is rated for children 3 to 10 years old, and it's available on Amazon via paperback. The book is also available internationally and has been printed in English, Spanish, and French. So if anyone wants to support me or read it to their kiddos, go check it out. All right, now that we've finished the rectangle box, we need 2 pieces of PVC pipe. I've cut these to 16 inches. This is 3/4 inch, but you could get away with using 1/2 inch PVC pipe. We have a drill spade bit that you want that's a little bit bigger than the PVC pipe that you're using. What we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole right here in the middle, making sure we don't hit any of the 2 screws that we put in on the side over here. Right there in the middle. Then this PVC pipe is going to go through so it pokes out right over here. We're going to use a singular screw on the top to hold it in place, the same thing on the other side. Then we're going to get our 2-foot piece of rebar. We're going to put it into the ground almost halfway through. And then, bam, we can put this box over the piece of rebar so it holds it in place and you can't see what's holding it up. So let's make the holes really quickly. And remember, this is the bottom side. So let's do that and move on. And this is what it looks like once we're done. You see, we put this one screw right there, 1 screw right there. And if we turn this around like this, this is what it looks like. So this is where the rebar is going to go in. You hammer it into the ground, and then this is simply going to go over it like that. Bam. So that this can stand upright, and it always works in windy or stormy weather. Next, we need to get our insulation foam board that we bought. This one is 4 feet by 8 feet, and it's 1/2 inch thick. We need it to be the thin one, which is 1/2 inch, so that we can carve on it with our Dremel tool and go all the way through. So remember, since we screwed our wood pieces together, the dimensions will be different. So this needs to be 24 inches wide by 36 inches tall. We need 2 pieces at those measurements. We're going to be using our jigsaw to cut this. So once we print it out, we're going to cut it just so it's easier to work with. Remember, we haven't attached this one yet. We're just putting it on top like this to hold it in place for now. So you can do anything. You could actually print out anything you want, any design you want using this method. But I'm just going with a super simple one of Rest in Peace. And I think I'm going to do a design similar to this. And what we're going to be using is Elmers washable glue. Now this glue goes on purple, but when it dries, it's clear. So once we apply the glue over here, and then we're going to apply the glue behind this, we're going to station it like this, and then we're going to wait for it to dry. It's normally should be about an hour, sometimes less, and then we're going to get our Dremel tool, and we're going to carve all of this out, making sure that we go through this piece of wood. while the words dry on the board, we're going to start attaching our LED strip lights. Now these come with an adhesive backing, but in order to reinforce it, I'm going to be using these Gable Staples in various areas just to make sure that it doesn't fall off. This comes with a remote with various different settings, and what we're going to do is we could drill another hole in the bottom to allow the cable to go through, but since it's foam board, we can just put it through the back of the foam board. The cable can come out through the back, so it'll be perfectly fine. So let's start sticking it right now to the interior frame. And this is what it should look like once you're done. Just super simple and easy to do. All right, now it's time for us to carve this out. Now we have our Dremel tool right over here, and we have this carving tip. I'm going to link, as I always do, all of the items and materials I use in the description of the video. Just go below this video and hit more, and you'll see it all there. So this is adjustable, super simple, but when we adjust it, we need to make sure that we adjust it so that it is, bam, lower than the bottom, because we need to go all the way through. And then I have another piece of foam board underneath it so we don't damage the table. And we're going to start carving. Make sure you use eye protection and a respirator or a mask, because there's a lot of small particulates that come off when we're carving. All right, so let me show you up close what I did. You can see, we can see some light on the opposite side. I didn't go all the way through. This is just superficial over here because you don't want it to just be flapping like that. So I used the jigsaw to help cut through, make it easier. Look at this one. And then with our X-Acto knife, we just start picking around it to make it deeper, make it gnarly. Again, we didn't go all the way through here so that it's a little bit solidified. And now we can spray some water on it and use our heat gun, start roughing up the shape. So to stick the back panel, we're going to be using the same expanding foam we used up here. We're just going to be using a little bit along the sides. Now, if you ever want to get access to the inside for whatever reason, you would have to end up cutting this off. So another method is simply to use several screws along the back to hold it in place, but I don't think it's going to look as good because we're going to end up putting expanding foam on the side. So just letting you know that those are two of your options. So put it there, not too much, just along the edges, and then hold it in place. Maybe put some tape on the sides, and it should be done within 30 minutes. for the final details, we're going to be applying Loctite foam on the sides, on part of the top, and on the other side as well. So once we stick this front piece on with Loctite foam, we're going to apply Loctite here, and as soon as we apply it all over here, we're going to spray it with water. It's really hot outside, so this should be really quickly. You should only have to wait about 3 minutes before it's tacky enough for you to be able to push down without getting residue on your hand. Normally, I wait 7 to 8 minutes, but the hotter and more humid it is, the quicker this process takes. So, spray foam there, then we're going to push it down, and then after about 5 minutes, we're going to push it down again so that it doesn't rise so much. Alright, so you'll know when it's ready when you gently touch it and it doesn't stick to your fingers. So what we're going to do is we're going to wet our hands again and then spray it one more time. And all we're going to do is pat it down to squish out all of the air bubbles. And look, there's no residue on my hand. So you can form it along the edges, pat it down, just like this. We're going to do the entire side and top. So this is going to rise some. So after about, I would say, between 3 and 5 minutes, come back and pat it down once more to get any of the remaining bubbles out so it's not so obvious. You want this to be subtle, not super crazy or anything. So let's keep on doing it. You see, I was working my garage on one hot summer day, and this cute little feller decided to come on in, curious little bunch, and he's like, "Hey, what you doing, Isaac?" And I was like, "Cletus, you's too big to be in here, Cletus. You need to get back out." So then I went and grabbed Cletus, and he was being very feisty. He was like, "No, not today, Isaac. I'm running for you." And I said, "No, Cletus, you coming with me." And since I've never handled a snake before, I was like, "Oh, this will be easy. Look, how fun. A nope rope is going outside." And then he's like, "Gotcha." Ah, he got me. He got me good, that dang Cletus. I was like, "Huh? You better be glad that I'm in a good mood today, Cletus, because I'm letting you go in the bushes." And in the bushes, Cletus went, where he's good for the environment. And he's non-venomous, so that's good. But he got me good. So, he got me good. Now I have to go clean this up.